Have you ever sat down to pay your monthly utility bills and you think to yourself, man, I wish somebody else was taking care of this? Well, I'm going to show you a way in which you can achieve that. Before we get into that, though, welcome to LGD Studios Money Matters channel. Here we talk about all things financial with a focus on dividend investing. If money matters to you, please hit that like button and subscribe to this channel. For my particular case, I get my electricity provided to me by Duke Energy. So Duke Energy is a dividend investment stock. So the question comes to mind, how many shares of Duke Energy would I need in order to have it provide me a monthly cash flow necessary to pay my own Duke Energy bill? So to calculate how much dividend income I would need to generate, I first need to understand how much energy I'm using per year and the cost of that energy. So you could typically go to your utilities. Sometimes they'll print out or send you a statement in the mail every usage, or you can go to their website. In this case, that's what I did for Duke Energy. I went to their website and I exported my usage for the year. And I could go back and look at the most recent 12 months of usage. And then what we want to do is I can then calculate how many kilowatts I've used for the year by doing a simple summation. And then if I want to see how much I'm paying per year, I can then take my price per kilowatt hour, and you can typically see this on your bill, or you can calculate if it's not readily available on your bill or on their website. So it's simply going to be that per kilowatt hour times my usage for the year. So to Duke Energy, I'm paying $1,555 for electricity on a yearly basis. After looking at the financial website, I can see that my dividend yield from Duke is 4.12%. So what dollar amount of stock would I need to given a 4.12% dividend yield to get me $1,555.42? So it's a matter of dividing that by our yield. And the spreadsheet knows that that's a percentage, so it does the calculation correctly. And you can see that we need $37,752.79. Now, given the current stock price of Duke of $97.36 per share, how many shares would I need to own? Well, again, you divide the amount you need by the price per share. Up. So I need 388 shares. So now I have a goal. I have a target. I need to invest 388 shares. And, I don't need to do this today or tomorrow, but, maybe my goal is by the time I retire, I want enough Duke Energy stock for it to pay its own bill. That could be my goal. So, it's important to set a proper framing, set realistic goals. And now I have, a manageable target. You can see where you can do this for no matter who your utility provider is. You can go calculate this. You look at their stock. I'd be curious if their stock is better than Duke Energy stock. Please put a comment down below. Let me know who your utility company is, what yield they're generating for you. And if you go through this process and you calculate how many shares of their stock you'd have to own, I'd love to see that too. The same kind of logic applies to your cell phone. Every month you sit down and you pay a bill to AT&T, T-Mobile, whoever it is, you're sending them money out of your pocket every month. Wouldn't it be nice to send their own money back to them? Just a different way, just a different thought, different way of thinking of things. So fine, I figured out how many shares of Duke Energy stock I would need to own. But what now? What do I know about Duke? Well, Duke Energy is a large electric utility company that operates in the southeastern United States. It's been around for over 100 years, and it has a long history of paying dividends to its shareholders. Investing in Duke Energy is easy. You can purchase shares through an online brokerage account like Robinhood, E-Trade, or TD Ameritrade. Of course, like any investment, there are risks involved. Duke Energy stock prices can fluctuate, and there's always a chance that the company could cut or suspend its dividend payments. It is important to do your due diligence and research a company before investing. Keep an eye on news articles and earnings reports, and make sure Duke Energy's financials are in good shape. So for me, part of the due diligence is, looking, especially when I invest in dividend stocks, is it a dividend king? And so I head on over to the Dividend King's website. What is a dividend king? Well, it's a stock that has raised their dividends for more than 50 consecutive years in a row. If I go and we dig down further, we look at Duke Energy, we can see that they've only increased their dividends for 18 years in a row. Only. That's a good record. Not quite enough to make them a king, maybe a prince, but definitely a duke. The other thing is, how does it compare in terms of yield with other utilities? And here we can see that on average, utilities pay 3.75% annual yield. Duke is coming in at 4.12% annual yield. So Duke is doing better. I'm curious how your utility performs. Let me know in the comments down below if you're beating Duke Energy by a lot. I'd love to hear it. Some other things to call out. We've made a few assumptions here. One, that our energy usage will stay constant over time, depending on the appliances that get swapped in and out. That could change. We also assume that the price per kilowatt hour will stay constant. And based on how Duke Energy sources their energy, that could change. Some things that will most likely work in our favor is that our goal is to have it pay for itself at retirement age. So before that point, we'll keep reinvesting those dividends, get that dividend snowball rolling, increasing in size, and get us to our goal share number earlier. As always, thank you for watching and happy investing.